The intersection of incredibly physical, high-stakes professional basketball and the absolute wildfire of the modern social media landscape has created an environment where a single, split-second collision can completely dominate the national sports conversation for weeks. When the whistle blows and the athletes leave the hardwood, the battle no longer ends at the arena doors. It instantly shifts to the internet, where millions of fans dissect every single frame of footage, debate every single quote, and demand absolute accountability from the league's biggest stars. Right now, the sports world is completely engulfed in a massive, polarizing controversy surrounding a terrifyingly intense on-court exchange between Las Vegas veteran Chelsea Gray and Indiana Fever rookie superstar Caitlin Clark. The resulting social media fallout has ignited a massive debate regarding player safety, online backlash, and the unwritten rules of WNBA physicality. Welcome back to WNBA First, your absolute premier destination for the deepest, most authentic, and fiercely analytical women's basketball coverage on the internet. If you want the real, unfiltered story behind the viral clips and the unapologetic breakdowns of the league's most heated controversies, you need to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and ring that notification bell right now. The narrative surrounding this specific matchup is evolving by the minute, and we are diving deep into the tape, the post-game quotes, and the massive fan reaction to uncover exactly what is happening behind the headlines. To fully understand the massive uproar that is currently dominating every single basketball forum, we have to meticulously break down the exact sequence of events that occurred during the Fever's highly anticipated matchup against the defending champion Las Vegas Aces. During a heavily contested defensive possession, Caitlin Clark found herself matched up against veteran guard Chelsea Gray. What initially appeared on the standard television broadcast to be a tough, physical basketball play quickly escalated into a deeply concerning situation. Gray drove toward the basket, and the resulting physical contact sent Clark crashing violently to the hardwood, leaving her visibly shaken and struggling to catch her breath on the floor.
So you can have some clarity in exactly what Chelsea Gray actually did.
Watch it. Bang! Bang! Liver punches. Them with liver hits. Do y'all know what happens with a liver hit? I'm about to educate some of you. Bang! Bang! And then, see, y'all want to go attacking because y'all hate Caitlin. Y'all are nasty individuals. A liver shot triggers a unique, agonizing physical shutdown. The impact causes.
The immediate reaction from the casual viewer was a mixture of confusion and concern, but when independent analysts and fans began pulling the alternate courtside camera angles, the true nature of the collision was revealed, completely shifting the entire narrative. When you slow the tape down frame by frame, it becomes incredibly clear that this was not a standard basketball sequence where an offensive player simply lowers a shoulder to carve out a few inches of driving space. Instead, the footage reveals a highly concentrated, incredibly forceful impact directed squarely into Clark's core. Analysts are actively pointing out that Gray's head and shoulder area appear to be planted with significant momentum directly into Clark's midsection during the absolute heat of the play. The online community is actively analyzing the immediate physical aftermath of this specific impact. Viewers are observing a classic delayed physical reaction, a phenomenon that frequently occurs when an athlete sustains a massive, concentrated blow to the core. The footage shows Clark attempting to act as a human shield, bravely trying to fight through the initial wave of contact to maintain her defensive positioning. But the sheer laws of physics and the intense transfer of kinetic energy simply cannot be ignored. Following a brief delay, the profound, radiating discomfort clearly overwhelms her, involuntarily buckling her legs and sending her straight to her knees. Fans are flooding social media with deep community concern regarding Clark's long-term athletic physical status, questioning how the human body can sustain these types of heavy, highly targeted impacts over the course of a grueling 40-game regular season.
Here, guys. So this is the play. Let me zoom up out of this. This is the play where all this happened. And shout out to Kyle Ingram, man. Kyle Ingram been on it, bro. So this is the play right here, y'all. Let me start this over here. Watch this play.
And the review is for an act after the foul.
So we didn't see, and look at her.
What makes this specific play even more concerning for the spectator base is that the massive impact to the midsection was not the only point of physical contact during the exact same sequence. Independent video breakdowns have highlighted a simultaneous, highly dangerous lower body collision that occurred right as the upper body contact was made. As Gray drove forward, the footage clearly shows a severe, jarring knee-to-knee exchange. When you combine a heavy core impact with an awkward, forceful lower body collision, you have an absolute recipe for disaster. The internet is in an absolute uproar, with thousands of fans demanding to know how the officiating crew can review a sequence involving that level of simultaneous, high-velocity contact and merely assess a common foul. The controversy surrounding this play has generated an absolute tidal wave of internet backlash, and the fallout has completely spilled over into the players' personal social media accounts. Following the intense scrutiny of the physical collision, Chelsea Gray took to her own digital platforms to expose some of the incredibly harsh, vitriolic messages she has been receiving from the public.
And created a whole firestorm about it. Now, I've been seeing people say that it was a basketball play, but there is a video I'm going to show you guys in this video of someone breaking down exactly what happened to Caitlin Clark, the exact way it went down, because I'm here to tell you, I thought she got hit in the ribs, and she actually got hit in the kidneys, man. Talk about assault to injury. Now, I don't know what it is with these people always want to play victim, but I'm telling you.
Gray posted a screenshot of a specific message she received after the game against Indiana, publicly stating her massive frustration with the sheer audacity of people telling professional athletes to simply shut up and dribble. Now, it is an absolute, undeniable fact that nobody should have to endure hateful, toxic messages on the internet. However, Gray's decision to post this specific backlash has triggered a completely different, highly polarized response from the basketball community. Rather than generating widespread sympathy, a massive segment of the fan base is actively questioning her post-game statements and the timing of her digital complaints. Are fans completely justified in wondering if Chelsea Gray's public focus on her social media mentions is a calculated attempt to deflect accountability away from the highly debated, intense physical collision she initiated on the court? The vocal internet analysts are loudly pointing out that in her entire post discussing the negative comments, she never once addressed the actual basketball play that sparked the absolute outrage in the first place. The community is actively debating the optics of this situation, noting that when an athlete engages in a play that heavily impacts an opponent's physical status, and then immediately pivots to highlighting their own victimhood regarding internet comments, it creates a massive disconnect with the viewing audience. Many commentators are arguing that receiving harsh criticism is simply part of the reality of being a highly compensated public figure performing on national television, and that focusing on internet trolls rather than the severe physical reality of the game is an incredibly poor look for a veteran champion. The passionate supporters of the Indiana Fever have been incredibly vocal about this exact pattern throughout the entire season. They are quick to point out that whenever a player is involved in a heavy, highly scrutinized physical escalation involving Caitlin Clark, the immediate aftermath always seems to feature the opposing player complaining about the inevitable social media fallout. The fans are asking incredibly pointed, speculative questions regarding the officiating and the league's overall standard of player protection. Are analysts completely accurate in questioning whether the WNBA needs to implement significantly harsher penalties for these specific types of highly concentrated, non-basketball physical impacts in order to protect the long-term athletic physical status of its marquee stars? The general consensus among the online community is that if the league truly wants to eliminate the toxic social media firestorms, they must first ensure that the product on the floor is appropriately officiated and that player safety is treated as the absolute highest priority.
Bow. Diabolical, bro. Insanity from the WNBA to allow this to keep happening. Oh, and knee to knee bone. Oh my God. Damn. See, guys, it keep getting worse. Every game, it keep getting worse. Knee to knee right there, too. This all in one play. Caitlin Clark should not obey physics. When she flagrantly fouls, she is supposed to not.
Despite the intense, swirling controversies regarding officiating, physical impacts, and social media drama, the Indiana Fever organization is refusing to allow the outside noise to derail their incredible, historic momentum. Following their magnificent blowout victory over the Las Vegas Aces, the players and coaching staff took to the podium and delivered an absolute masterclass in professional focus. They completely ignored the viral drama and focused entirely on the beautiful, connected style of basketball that is quickly turning them into a terrifying championship contender. Olaya Boston addressed the media and immediately shifted the entire conversation toward the team's pristine offensive execution. She emphasized that the primary focus of the roster has been to keep the basketball popping, moving it fluidly from side to side to completely scramble the opposing defensive rotations. Boston highlighted the absolute trust that exists within the locker room, noting that when the team actively reverses the basketball, it will inevitably find the player who is in the absolute best position to take the high percentage shot. When asked how quickly the team can sense that their offensive rhythm is locked in, she confidently stated that the players can feel it almost immediately. But the true mark of a great team is maintaining that exact same consistency and focus through all 4 quarters of a highly demanding game.
That's how quickly can you tell that you guys are playing the way you want when it's coming?
Yeah, I think you can tell right away. I think for us it's about making sure that we stay consistent through 4 quarters.
Sophie, that you were on fire today, obviously. When did you feel like you had it going and sustaining the whole game can be hard?
No, I think that's what it is to be a pro, is just to stay ready. When you have megastars on your team, you know they're going to get the majority of the shots, as they should. And so as others, we just got to be prepared to knock it down when we get the ball.
Yeah, Steph, just having a game like this, doing a road trip, how satisfying is it?
It's huge. It's huge. I thought our team was tough-minded. We withstood that run in the third quarter. We locked down defensively.
That exact theme of immense, unshakable locker room connectivity was echoed perfectly by Sophie Cunningham, who was absolutely scorching the nets all night long. When asked about her ability to come off the bench and instantly provide massive offensive firepower, Cunningham delivered a quote that beautifully encapsulated the entirely unselfish nature of this roster. She plainly stated that staying ready is simply the definition of being a true professional. She openly acknowledged the incredible historical talent surrounding her, stating that when you play alongside megastars, you fully understand and accept that they are going to command the vast majority of the defensive attention and the shot attempts. That level of supreme self-awareness is exactly what builds dynasties. Cunningham understands that the sheer gravity created by her superstar teammates will naturally generate massive spacing, and her only job is to remain locked in, disciplined, and prepared to knock down the open looks when the basketball swings her way. Head coach Stephanie White provided an equally compelling strategic breakdown of the massive road victory, heavily praising her squad for their tough-minded approach to a grueling third-quarter surge by the defending champions. Coach White pointed out a massive statistical shift that beautifully illustrates the team's defensive growth. She noted that the Las Vegas Aces entered the halftime break shooting an incredibly comfortable 52% from the field. However, after making the necessary tactical adjustments and dialing up the perimeter pressure, the Fever defense completely locked down the paint, causing the Aces' final shooting percentage to absolutely plummet to a mere 39%. Coach White recognized that the team will not always have a perfect offensive night, but if they continue to execute this level of connected, high-intensity defense, they are going to consistently put themselves in a position to win massive basketball games.
Guard both sides and not just one.
I got one for all of you guys. You've all given Kelsey her flowers at different points, but tonight was her 300th game in a Fever uniform, so only her.
Where Caitlin Flowers at?
And then this was the 38th game in a row that she scored at least 10 points, passing a record from Tamika. So I guess especially just like the longevity, the continuity. What else can you say about her?
I mean, Kelsey's awesome. She shows up every single day and she gives us everything she has. And I think, just how long she's been wearing a Fever jersey, I mean, you can see it. She continues to show up every single day. She hoops out of her mind. She is.
But the post-game celebration was not just about tactical execution and silencing the defending champions. It was also about honoring absolute, undeniable greatness. Kelsey Mitchell, the undisputed veteran anchor of the Indiana franchise, officially suited up for her 300th career professional game. And to make the night even more historic, she officially broke a massive organizational record previously held by the legendary Hall of Famer Tamika Catchings. Mitchell recorded her 38th consecutive game scoring in double digits, cementing her legacy as one of the most prolific, consistent offensive weapons in the history of the sport. During the press availability, Aaliyah Boston completely showered Mitchell with highly deserved praise. Boston marveled at Mitchell's incredible longevity, stating that she shows up every single day and gives the organization absolutely everything she possesses. Boston called her the absolute fastest guard she has ever seen in her entire life, a player who forces opposing defenses to completely alter their schemes just to keep up with her blazing baseline speed. For Mitchell to maintain this level of hyper-efficient scoring continuity through both the dark rebuilding years and the current era of unprecedented hype is a monumental achievement that deserves the highest level of respect from the entire basketball community. As the Indiana Fever pack their bags and prepare for their upcoming matchup against the fast-paced Valkyries, the massive storylines surrounding this team are only going to intensify. The fierce debates regarding player protection, the intense scrutiny of the courtside replay footage, and the highly speculative questions regarding the officiating standards will absolutely continue to dominate the national sports conversation for the foreseeable future. Fans will remain deeply invested in monitoring the physical status of their franchise cornerstone, actively demanding that the league take definitive, objective action to ensure the safety of its most heavily targeted athletes. But through all the outside noise, the controversial social media posts from veteran opponents and the massive internet firestorms, the Indiana Fever have proven that they are fully capable of blocking out the distractions and focusing entirely on executing winning basketball. They are playing with an undeniable edge, an elite level of connectivity, and a highly dangerous collective swagger that has the entire league on absolute notice. I want to hear exactly what you guys are thinking about this massive controversy. Get down into the comment section right now and give me your absolute hottest takes. Do you think the fan speculation regarding Chelsea Gray's social media post is completely justified, or are people being too harsh on a player dealing with intense internet backlash? How concerned are you about the long-term athletic physical status of Caitlin Clark following these heavy, concentrated collisions? And how hyped are you to see Kelsey Mitchell officially pass Tamika Catchings in the franchise history books? Make sure you smash that subscribe button to stay locked in with WNBA Pro. Hit that like button to keep the vision alive, and I will see you on the next Deep Dive Breakdown.